Hello to the one person who's watching us live right now. Oh, now we got 5. All right, I'm Joanna Willis, whole brain teaching, platinum certified trainer. I teach 2nd grade in Gibson City, Illinois, and I have 2 friends joining me today. I'll bring them both on. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Weston Lamb Costantino. I'm a gold certified music teacher here in Wyoming.
And I'm Kyla Tesmer. I am a gold certified 3rd grade teacher in North Carolina.
Yeah. All right. So we are going to send Weston back to the studio, and he's going to be manning the chat and dropping in notes for all of you. So you do not need to take any notes when the live is done. You can go through, copy. Oh, Weston removed himself. Nope. Always looking at me like, nope, I didn't. Sorry, Weston, I must have hit a button. But you can copy and paste all the notes that he puts into your own Google Doc or Word doc, and you will be good to go. So today, Kyla, we are talking about, we are talking about our Punctuation Brainies. So chapter 21 is has more than just these 5 brainies, but hold on. Chapter 21 of Coach's new book, yes. And it has more than just these 5 brainies, but I don't want to be here all day, and I know Kyla, you can't either. So we're just going to cover the first 5, which are the most basic, and that's what you'll start with in your classroom, so that and you'll use these all year. Even if you don't do any of the other brainies, you will use these all year. All right. So, and I'm going to have Weston, can you drop in the notes there, link to Coach's book if you haven't done so already. And just a reminder that these brainies start on page 172 of Coach's Brainy book. I feel like Vanna White, right? That's not a reference people get anymore, I feel like. All right. Anyways, moving on. Okay. Oh, and here, just so you can see, this graphic is showing you again all the brainies that are covered in chapter 21, but I circled the 5 at the top because those are what we're going to focus on today. Oops, we're not ready for that yet. All right. So, are you ready, Kyla?
So ready.
Let's start with our very first brainy. Class?
Yes.
Thank you, class.
You're welcome, Joanna.
Mirror words.
Mirror words.
A capital letter.
A capital letter.
Is a big letter.
Is a big letter.
A capital letter.
A capital letter.
Is a big letter.
Is a big letter.
Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
Teach.
Okay. A capital letter is a big letter. A capital letter is a big letter.
Hey, class.
Hey, yes.
Thank you, class.
You're welcome, Joanna.
Perfect. And that's exactly how you can introduce a capital letter to your students. You're going to teach them that a capital letter is a big letter. Now, be careful when you're doing this gesture. We don't want to go really big like this because that is actually a different brainy. So you want to keep it right here. I go up to about my forehead. You want to teach your kids to go like right here. And you can talk to them about how we're growing the capital letter. Because sometimes you have kids who want to do this. No, it's not a clap. We're growing that capital letter. Right. Okay, so a way to practice this with your students, Kyla, once we're done, once they've learned what a capital letter is you can just ask them questions and they have to respond to you with a sentence starting with a capital letter. So that's what we're going to do right now. So Kyla, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food is ice cream.
Where do you live?
I live in North Carolina.
What is your favorite video game? Excuse me.
My favorite video game is Mario.
Nice. All right. And so you get the idea. That's the first step after you teach the capital letter. Your next step is to practice. And you would not just call on Kyla the entire time. You would call on different students, obviously. And I'm going to share. Nope, that got rid of Kyla. Sorry, Kyla.
It's okay.
I don't know what happened to my. Oh my gosh. I'm out of practice. I haven't done this in like a week, and now I'm like, what's going on?
It's okay. You're so cool.
Thank you. All right, there we go. That's what I was looking for. All right. So here's our capital letter Brainy. You can print this off and hang it up in your classroom so students remember. We do this when we make a capital letter. Oh, I keep doing that. See, Kyla, I need to look at my slides beforehand. It's all right. We're good. We're good. Okay. So after we teach the capital letter Brainy, and then we ask and answer questions with the students, the next step, Kyla, is we can have students practice using that capital letter Brainy whenever they are reading a passage or a story from the whiteboard, or even if you're having them do partner reading, but you want to start encouraging them to use that capital letter when they're doing academic work. So Kyla, can you tell us the first 3 steps to using the capital letter Brainy?
Sure. Thank you, Joanna. So the first thing is to teach them what the capital letter is. After we have shown them the gesture, we ask them questions and have them answer them using that capital gesture in their sentence. And then the last thing is having them practice reading either off the whiteboard or maybe small groups or pairs of reading sentences and using the capital letter as they read.
Perfect. And then the last thing we're going to do is, we got to tie it into some motivation, right? We got to motivate these kids to use these capital letter Brainies on our super improver board, or if you're not doing super improvers yet, on your story board or on your scoreboard. You're going to make your target, you're going to write capital letters plus, meaning that the kids have an opportunity to earn a star for improving in speaking sentences using their capital letter Brainy. But that plus sign means that they can still earn stars for other improvements. But our target improvement is using those capital letters when they are speaking in sentences. So Kyla, what is the last power up we can do with this capital letter?
The last power up is to get those kids really motivated to want to use their capital letter when they are speaking. So we can add that as our target on either our super improver wall or Starries or scoreboard, whatever we're using, but also make sure we have that plus so we can look for the capital letters and then any other improvements in the classroom.
Perfect. All right. So we're going to move on to our next Brainy, and I'm going to do a magic circle shortcut, mirror words.
Mirror words.
At the end of, mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
I gotta whoop, whoop, whoop.
You're right. Start over.
I'm sorry. I think I'm thinking ahead to West Virginia already. So I'm like in West Virginia mode. I am not in Brady mode. Okay. We're going to try that again. Mirror words.
Mirror words.
A period.
A period.
Goes at the end of a sentence.
Goes at the end of a sentence.
A period.
A period.
Goes at the end of a sentence.
Goes at the end of a sentence.
Periods are sentence breaks.
Periods are sentence breaks.
Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
All right, teach about periods, please. Teach.
Okay. A period is at the end of a sentence. A period is a sentence break. A period goes at the end of a sentence. Hey, yes.
Thank you, class.
You're welcome, Joanna.
All right, yes. So when I'm going to show the graphic for that. Okay. So this is showing the open hand. You can do it is this. I apologize. Tell me I'm still cool. I was doing this. We did change it. And I know there is one of the posters, I think, has the period still looking like this. And we did change it. For those of you who are interested in why it changed, when we were doing a conference last summer, someone had reached out and said, hey, is there a concern because this is like a rude gesture in, I think it's in another language. I'm not sure. So coach checked and he decided, you know what, let's just we'll just make it this. So I'm trying to retrain myself to do this. Okay. So, we're going to teach the students the period, what a period is, using magic circle as always. And then the next step, Kyla, is we're going to do the same thing that we did with capital letters. But now we want them to end their sentences with the period. So we can ask the same type of questions like, what is your favorite color?
My favorite color is red.
Nice. Yes. Very good. And when you're first doing this, if your students aren't ready to do both capital letter and the period at the same time, then it's okay. They might be ready, but if you just want them to focus on using that period at the end, then you just focus on that with them. Then the third thing we're going to do, of course, is we're going to add that into our reading. So when students are reading off the board, reading out of their book with a partner in a group, you can have them do this at the end of their sentences when they see those periods. And then Kyla, you know, the last one is probably my favorite. We're going to make this a target on our super improver board. We'll write period plus so that we can look, so the kids know we are looking for improvement in ending their sentences, ending their speaking sentences with periods. So Kyla, can you quickly just review for us the 4 things we can do once we've taught what a period is with magic circle?
Absolutely. So we teach it. We have them practice with answering questions again, adding those periods. If they want to do the capitals, that's great. We have them do it in their reading. As they're reading, they add those periods and then get that target up on the super improver wall to look for improvements in adding their oral sentence period.
Perfect. All right. So we're going to go on to our next Brainy, which you can probably guess is the question mark. Okay. So mirror words.
Mirror words.
When speaking a question, you need to end with a question mark.
You need to end with a question mark.
The Brainy for question mark is?
The Brainy for question mark is?
Yep, you're drawing a question mark in the air.
You're drawing a question mark in the air.
Perfect. Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
All right, teach about the question mark. Teach.
Okay, question mark. When I ask a question, I end it with a question mark, and I'm going to draw it in the air. And do we add the That's my question.
Yeah. I do. I like to say or huh. I know that a couple years ago when my students, I videoed a lesson for a coach and he said, have your students stop making that sound. He said it was driving him bananas. So I said, got it, coach. But I still, with my students, I still, because it's fun. And it reminds them it's a question.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Sorry,
so,
I got off.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We're good. We're loosey-goosey right now. Yeah, absolutely. You can, I think that sound effect is fun. So I like to use it. I think younger kids will like to use it. If you're teaching the older kids who are too cool for school, they might not. I don't know. I think sometimes older kids like making weird noises too, though.
Yeah. It's fun.
Yeah, fun. I guess you just go with what. Well, look at my banner. Still says period. We were definitely talking about the question mark. All right, and our beautiful poster for the question mark looks like this, showing you that hand to start at the top and draw around and do your question mark. All right, are we ready for the next one, Kyla?
Bring it on.
I'm gonna change my banner. There we go. We are moving on to the exclamation mark. Mirror words.
Mirror words.
Exciting sentences.
Exciting sentences.
Use an exclamation mark.
Use an exclamation mark.
That's an exclamation mark.
That's an exclamation mark.
It's used in exciting sentences.
It's used in exciting sentences.
Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
Teach.
Okay. In exciting sentences, we use the exclamation mark. An exclamation mark. and an exciting sentence.
Class, class?
Yes, yes.
Thank you, class.
You're welcome, Joanna.
Awesome. All right. Now, as with the question mark, there used to be a sound effect. It used to be yes. If you want to use that, you can, but you don't have to. You can just have yours. Make sure your students are drawing the straight line down and then the and saying their sentences in exciting ways. And Kyla, we're going to use that same 4-step process. We're going to teach the Brainy. We're going to have them practice the Brainy with speaking exciting sentences. We're going to have them practice it while they're reading, and then we're going to add it as a target to Super Improvers or Scoreboard or Sorries or whatever game we are playing. All right. So the next step, though, there we go. The next step, Kyla, after we've taught them those 4 Brainies, are you ready for this next step?
I don't know.
Check this out. Check this out. Look at the bottom of the Super Improvers. We're not just looking for a capital letter anymore. Oh, no, my friends. We are going to push them further. We are going to look for capital letters and a period in their sentences. So we're looking for improvement in both of those things to get a Super Improver star. So, Kyla, once our students know these 4 Brainies, what are we going to do next?
We're going to put them together and look for more than just one of those Brainies. We're going to look for capital letters and the periods. Or if we're working on maybe wonder words questions, we can add a capital letter and the question mark plus other.
Amazing. And only one person out there agrees with that. We only got 1 thumbs up for that, Kyla. Well, I hope we made that person's day. That
right,
one person. I guess everyone else knew the secret already. They're not impressed by us anymore. I don't know. All right. So we have one more Brainy. It's not quite my favorite Brainy, but it's up there because it has such a fun sound effect. All right. So we're going to talk about the comma.
Ooh.
Okay. Mirror words.
Mirror words.
When using a comma.
When using a comma.
Your finger draws a comma in the air.
Your finger draws a comma in the air.
And you say zoop.
And you say zoop.
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 Is the comma Brainy.
Is the comma Brainy.
Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
Teach.
Okay. So the comma Brainy, you draw a little comma in the air and say zoop. The zoop is our comma Brainy.
Oh, class?
Oh, yes.
Thank you, class.
You're welcome, Joanna.
All right. Big point here, Kyla. Because here's what's going to happen. I know this happens in your classroom. Is kids are so excited about the comma that they just start stringing sentences together. And now we've got run-on sentences flying all over our classroom because the kids think that comma lets them do that. So what big, I'm going to use Coach's whack-a-mole analogy. What big mole pops up once we teach the comma, Brainy?
Once we teach that comma Brainy, they want to use it everywhere, and we get all sorts of run-on sentences with commas instead of periods.
Right. So we are not going to allow students to do that. The only time they can use that comma is when they're speaking a triple whammy sentence. Only time. Kyla, when's the only time they can use that comma?
The only time the comma is used is during our triple whammy sentence.
Yes. And if you don't know what a triple whammy sentence is, a triple whammy sentence is a sentence that has 3 parts. So after you teach comma using the magic circle, and you do some lessons on how commas are used in a series, like triple whammy sentences, you're going to practice by asking students questions that require 3-part answers like this. Kyla, what are your 3 favorite desserts? Huh?
My 3 favorite desserts are ice cream zoop, cookies zoop, and donuts.
Very good. Yay, Kyla. If everyone was on a Zoom with us, I'd say, give Kyla a 10-finger too. Maybe they can just put it in the comments. Give Kyla a 10-finger woo in the comments, please. Yes. Or a thumbs up or a heart or a smiley, something to let her know she's amazing. And our poster for comma looks like that, reminding the kids to use their forefinger, and draw it in the air. Zoop. All right. That is the last slide. Okay, great. So let's review our brainies real quick, Kyla. Okay, so we're going to do mirror words.
Mirror words.
Capital letter.
Capital letter.
Period.
Period.
Question mark.
Question mark.
Exclamation mark.
Exclamation mark.
And comma. Zoop.
And comma. Zoop.
Mirrors off.
Mirrors off.
All right, teach those 5. Teach.
Okay. Capital letter. Period. Question mark. Ooh, have it. Exclamation mark. And our comma. Zoop.
Okay, class.
Yes.
Thank you, class.
You're welcome, Joanna.
All right. Awesome job. And what you'll see happen with your encouragement of students using these brainies is they will start to use them on their own when they're answering you in complete sentences. Kyla, do you let your students answer with baby talk?
No, we only talk in complete sentences.
Yeah, college talk all the time. And kids will start using those brainies on their own. It will happen. It's not going to happen that first week of school, Kyla. Not going to happen. It may not even happen until after second semester. Who knows? I don't know. So don't be discouraged. Just keep encouraging it. So, all right, I'm going to bring Weston back in. Hi, Weston.
Hello. Nice job, ladies.
Thank you. How are the
You're welcome.
How is the chat? Oh, that's fun. Sorry. I could go in order here, but I'm looking. Facebook user, exclamation mark. We say, yeah, boom. That's fun. I bet kids really like that. Yes. Well, thank you for making us part of your laundry folding. I love it. All right, I'm going to scroll back up to the top here. Oh, good morning, Patricia. I'm always happy to see you here. All right. And Mary, my fellow Illinois teacher. Lovely to see you. Yes, they do. And yes, you know what was worse was when because was because used to be a clap. We're not going to talk about because crusher. It used to be a clap, and so kids would get those two confused. So I'm glad that because is now a crusher. But yeah, they definitely are like my dog, and I'm like no, my dog. So if that happens, you just tell them like, hey, you're still cool. Why don't you try your sentence again using this gesture? Always want to keep, what's the word I'm looking for from Andre? Fearless classroom. I think that's what he says.
Yep.
All right. Practice the teacher pay. We didn't repeat. Oh, yes. Yes. Very good, Patricia. Yeah. I was just being the teacher. It's a little different in a Facebook live. Yes, if my students were doing this, I would be circling around the room and I would be giving the praise loudly, prompting quietly, and then leaving. Absolutely. Kids. I think, yeah, that's teacher choice. Yeah.
I feel like having them do the in a way, especially the younger kids, I feel like that gets them to take the break at a period, which sometimes that like, especially even like the fluent readers, they just like run through the sentences. Yes. And so I think it's good to even have them practice starting with the and then maybe taking that away later in the year when they get used to like that pause. I feel like it's a good pause.
Yes. Yes. And Pam, who we're going to see on Friday, I'm so excited to meet her in person. She says that her students love using the sound effects for the different marks. And I agree, Pam. I think it's fun. Actually, in my classroom, Coach, turn away if you're watching. But in my classroom, in Willsie's classroom, I actually, for exclamation mark, I have my students say, whoa, because an exciting sentence isn't always a yes. You know what I mean? Like if someone's angry because they don't want to do something, right? So we do, whoa, but again, that's not in the book. That's not something I got from Coach. That was just Willsie's weird way of thinking. So that might be a new segment. Willsie's weird ways. Yes, that I just That's enough over there. Sorry, my kids are talking to me. All right. Hey, you got this. You got this. It is hard. Even second grade, Kyla, I'm sure third grade even. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is hard. They love those commas.
They throw it in there.
Yeah. Oh, and another fellow Illinois teacher. Hi, Jennifer. I did know that. All right. Well, if there's no other pressing questions, hey, look at that. We are ending early today. What? Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, if you all want, we can do, there are more Brainies in the book. Some more advanced ones that we can come on here and maybe we can come back and do. But I got to say, we are now, I know the three of us, we are focusing for West Virginia now. So maybe next week we'll come back and we can do another session on the Brainies because I do love them. And I do think, I forgot to say, why do we do these Brainies, Kyla and Weston? It's going to help their writing. Yeah, it's going to help their writing. They're going to remember because I will, when students are writing and I'll look at if they're missing a period in their sentence and I'll say, hey, what's missing from your sentence? And they'll say, they're like, my sentence is beautiful. What are you talking about? And I'll just be like, Hurt. And they're like, oh, it's all I have to do. And they're like, right. And then, and another idea is if you ever have your students proofread each other's writing, I say you have to read their sentence with your Brainies. And if you are not doing a capital letter, if you're not doing a period, then like, hey, my partner needs a period right here. Like that, it really helps them edit their work, whether they're doing it with a partner or on their own. It's not always foolproof. They're still learning. They're still little kids, but it does help. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. Again, if you have more questions, pop them in the chat. I do get notifications when people ask questions on these. And I think, I don't know if Kyla and Western do, but someone will pop on and answer your question. So, all right. Yes. Awesome. Well, drive safe, Jennifer, on your road trip to Michigan. Okay. Be safe. All right. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you next week, maybe. Bye.